Bring some release to the shoulders, and know that though we're sitting still, if you need to kind of shift around in order to find comfort, that would be okay. So even if you have to adjust something in the body physically, or even move a little, know that would be okay. And then relax your shoulders away from the ears. Relax the chest, and your rib cage and your belly. Relax your legs to the knees, to the calves and the shins. Relax all 10 toes. And then come back up from relaxing the toes, relax the calves and the shins to the knees, to the front of the thighs, back the thighs. Relax your hips. Relax your belly and your chest and your shoulders all the way down the arms to the tips of the fingers. And relax your back down to the hips. And now begin to notice the breath. Notice the rise and the fall of the chest. Down to the small of the back, to the belly. As you exhale, allow the breath to travel up, back to the heart. And see if you can almost imagine a circle of energy from the top of the chest expanding down the back side of the body to the belly, and then back up to the chest. Imagine that circle of energy nourishing you, healing you, and creating calm. And if it's comfortable for you, see if you could breathe in through the nose. And exhale through the nose, Ujjayi breath. And if that's not comfortable for you, or if it feels constricting, just breathe how it would feel okay. But see if you can expand the breath, beginning at the top of the body. So the upper back, the back of that space, the heart. Down to the small of the back, allowing the belly to come in and that breath and that energy to rise. Noticing the calm that just the breath will create. And that's what's different for us in yoga. The term yoga means to unify, to link, to come together. So here we are in this space and in this now. Bring your hands to your heart. An Anjali Mudra prayer. You can either keep the eyes open or closed. Maybe there's an intention that you have for today's practice. Maybe it's that idea of nothingness, like emptying, you know? Being open to what this next breath will come. Being open to what the next moment will be. And being present in the now. Stay here as long as you wish. And then whenever you're ready, I'm going to scoot away a little bit from the wall. We're just going to warm up the spine a little bit, still in this seated posture, if it's okay for you. We're just going to practice a couple rounds of cat and cow. You may want to bring your hands to the thighs. If this is uncomfortable sitting crisscross, you can always bring your legs underneath you or come into traditional cat-cow. Take an inhale breath, lengthen the spine so the chest expands. Think about drawing the chest open, the sternum bone drops, the collarbones expand, possibly the chest opens deeper as the chin comes off the chest. This is your inhale breath, so bring it in. And then on your exhale breath, gently round the back like a cat, hollowing the belly. Do this a few times on your own, seeing if you can link the movement to the breath. So unlike just a stretching class, right? So we are going to move the body. We are going to stretch a little before we get into some juicy, restorative, longer holds today. We're linking movement to breath. So that inhale breath expands, lengthening, bringing in the light, the energy, the vitality. And then in the exhale breath, we round the back like a cat, creating some spaciousness in the upper back. Good. Emptying out. And then whenever you're ready, come to some stillness. Notice how that felt. Notice how that felt. It's later in the day. You may have been moving today. Maybe you didn't. And be okay with that. So just notice. Take time to notice. And then whenever you're ready, take an inhale breath, lengthen the spine. On an exhale breath, and I'll mirror you. I'm not sure how this works, so I'm just going to mirror you. I'm going to cue you to take a twist over to the right. I'm twisting to the left, so either way will do. Lengthen through the spine on your inhale breath, and then the exhale breath, take a little twist. If it's comfortable in your neck, you can look over the shoulder. We're not striving, we're not pushing anything, we're just moving. On the inhale breath, come to the center and take an inhale breath to lengthen the spine. And then on your exhale breath, come over the other way. So I'm moving now over to the right. I'm not sure if the screen, is mirroring. So just go whichever way you didn't before. And inhale breath, lengthen. Exhale breath, take the twist, pulling in the belly. Finding some length in the spine without pushing. Come to the center. And do that again. Take an inhale breath, lengthen the spine. Exhale breath, twist it over to your opposite way. Good. If it feels good for you, you can look over the left shoulder or your right shoulder. Good. Come to the center. Inhale breath to the center. Lengthen your spine and then go the other way. Notice how good you feel. Good. If this feels uncomfortable in your spine, then don't do it as much or don't do it at all. So your job is to just listen to the body and then come to the center. Take a breath to notice. Whenever you're ready, and I'm going to move away from my wall now, I'm coming onto my mat. I'm going to face you profile for this. So you're going to come to the hands and the knees. You're going to come to your hands and knees. We're going to practice another round of cat-cow on the hands and knees. So you're going to take an inhale breath, lengthen the spine. You've already been here before in that seated posture. On your exhale breath, round the back like a cat. And see if you can notice if the tailbone can come down a little bit more toward the knees. So imagine on the exhale breath, pulling in through the belly, good. And then on the inhale breath, you're lengthening the spine on the inhale breath. So you're not pressing anything, you're just expanding through the heart on the inhale breath, bringing in light. And then on the exhale breath, rounding in the back, working with your own body, making whatever adjustments that you need to take. See if you can do this on your own a few times. Linking the movement to the breath. And I'm already getting kind of warm. I'm kind of excited. I cranked up my heat a little bit and I'm taking off my sweater. If you need to adjust anything, no, that's perfectly fine. You're in your home. I can't even really see you, so do whatever you wish. Good. Come to a flat back for a moment and notice how that feels. And then walk your hands forward, keeping your hips above the knees. Bring the body down, and sometimes this is called puppy pose or undulate. Well, actually, it's not called that. I actually can't really remember what it's called in Sanskrit. I haven't taught yoga for a couple of weeks. Mounting heart pose is the English word, and many of you have done this before. Your hips are above the knees, the heart expands, the arms can be open to get a little bit more spaciousness across the upper back. You may want to bend a little bit in the elbows to give some room in the joints. See if you can hold. You've practiced yoga before where you've been in downward dog. This mimics in the body that same expansion. It's a very gentle inversion. You get a little bit of a back bend. Take 3 breaths on your own here. So see if in the breath here, you can imagine that breath coming in through the upper heart space. So imagine that space between your shoulder blades. Take your inhale breath there, and then allow the breath to travel the spine, to the base of the spine. See if you can soften the muscles around the waist. As the belly pulls in, the breath travels up and away, expanding, bringing out, ridding the body of the mala. So on the inhale breath, we bring in the prana, which is the light, the energy, the vitality. And then on the exhale breath, we let go of mala, the stuff that we're ready to let go of. Good. After you've taken 3 breaths, if it's comfortable for you, open up your legs a little bit wider, maybe join your toes together, and come into child's pose. If this is too much on the body, you can always bring a pillow behind the ankles. I'll demonstrate that if you need to take a peek. If you have a rolled up blanket, you could always bring it back there, or just bring up the hips as much as you need to. And as we go into a little bit of stillness here for 3 more breaths, if this feels too much or your body doesn't feel ready, if it's agitating, then move, There are no rules. This is your practice. Take another inhale breath. Imagine that breath coming up again. Remember the back of the heart space, opening, letting it in. Almost imagining that breath becoming light that comes in through the spine, nourishing you, soothing you, letting go of any agitation in the physical, maybe even the emotional body as the breath comes in. You exhale breath, the belly, and then back up and away. Good. And now come onto your back. Come onto your back, or whenever you're ready. If you're just joining, come onto your back. Good, and I'm going to move this candle a little. I have a real candle in the studio. We have battery operated. I actually put an extra water here just in case I have to kick that over. I have a strap from my son's Taekwondo class. You can either go with a strap or use a scarf or nothing at all. You could do this without anything. And we're going to practice Supta Pada Gurusthasana, leg in 5 directions. You're going to extend the right leg long. And some of you have done this with me in class. The left leg can be long, or you're going to bend the left knee. I'm going to bend the left knee. I'm a little tight in my back. You're going to take an inhale breath, lengthen the right leg, and exhale breath, draw the right knee in toward the chest. Give it a good hug. So that if you're using a strap or a belt or something like that, it's just along for the ride. It's an inhale breath, lengthen the right leg. We're just stretching into the hamstrings, warming up the hips, moving through the joints in order to prep the body for our longer holds here. And then exhale breath, bring the right knee up toward the chest. Good. See if you can pull in the belly when you do that. Inhale breath, lengthen the right leg. Good. One more time. Exhale breath, knee in toward the chest. Take your time. So see if you can follow your own breath. And then whenever you're ready to inhale, lengthen through the right leg. Notice how your neck is doing. So kind of loosen your arms a little, especially if you're holding a prop such as a strap. There's a slight tuck of the chin toward the chest to protect the neck. And if it feels okay for you to hold here, we'll stay here for 3 breaths. If this is too much right now, then you can always bend the right knee as much as you need to, or go back to that movement of the exhaling the knee to the chest and then lengthening. So I'm bringing in a few yoga therapy techniques. So we're going to move through some physical preps that get the joints ready and the muscles ready before we go into the deeper holds. Good. Stay here for 1 more breath. Relax the shoulders and the neck. Come back to relaxing your face. And then hug the right knee in toward the chest. Make some circles with the right leg. Good. So bring it in both directions. Good. Notice how your hip is moving. Good, and then straighten the leg again if that feels available to you. If you're holding a strap, hold it with the right hand. Press the left hip bone back down to the floor. So we want to keep both sits bones on the floor. And then inch by inch, open it up over to the right. So we're going to stretch through the inner thigh and the hip flexor. Take an inhale breath, lengthen the right leg, and exhale breath, bring that right knee back up, and maybe hug it a little bit up toward the right shoulder if that's available. Just work with your own body, whatever feels good to you. And then in an inhale breath, we lengthen the right leg. So for some of you that are very flexible, you might have that right leg open a little bit more. I'm keeping my leg a little higher to protect my lower back. All of us are keeping both sits bones on the floor. And then on your exhale breath, bend the right knee. Good. Inhale, breath, lengthen it. And I'm going to give you a few breaths where you're just moving with the breath. So on your exhale breath, right, you're compressing, you're bringing the knee maybe up toward the right shoulder. And then on your own inhale breath, lengthen the right leg. Do this 1 or 2 times dynamically on your own. See if you can lengthen this next inhale breath as you lengthen the right leg whenever you're ready. Good. And then if it feels good for you to take one breath, stay. We're just going to stay here for a full breath. So it's an inhale breath. See if you can make that breath a little bit longer. A little bit deeper. Feel the expanse across the breath. Across the back, down to the lower spine. Exhaling through the belly. Good. And then bring it back up top. Hug the knee in toward the chest. Good. Lengthen it again. Good. You can bring it in deeper if that feels comfortable to you, or let it go away from you. If you need to have a bend, you will. Notice how your hamstring's doing. So that's the back of the right leg. If you're working with the strap, take the strap into your left hand. Otherwise, you can just use your hand on your thigh. It doesn't matter. And gently bring the leg inch by inch over to the left. So just a little bit maybe. And then sit the right hip back down to the floor. So we want to keep the sacrum, the lower spine, very safe on the floor. And notice how that feels. And then a few times on your own, remember the exhale breath is the bending. The inhale breath lengthening. So not only is this prepping the hips for our longer stay poses today, it's also preparing the joints. Good. So you get some movement, some fluidity in the joints and the ligaments and the tendons. Good. Very nice. And then extend the right leg long. If that feels okay, if you need to have a little bend, you will. Maybe you take it an extra inch across. Maybe just relax your shoulders a little bit more. Maybe you look over the right shoulder. For some of you, you're very flexible. The leg might go deeper. But again, being very mindful to keep the right hip down, the left hip down. Maybe you look over to the side. Either way is fine. Just notice how you're doing. Listening to the body. Adjusting as you need to. And then bring the leg back up. Hug the right knee in toward the chest. Good. Bring the right ankle to the top of the left knee. So if your leg was straight, bend the left knee and just practice a figure four stretch for 1 second with your left foot still on the floor. Yeah. Maybe you take a moment to kind of windshield wiper that leg. See how you're doing here. Feel the hip. Notice. Very good, and then open up through the right knee. You can stay like this for 2 breaths, or on your next exhale breath, bring the left knee up toward the chest for just a traditional reclined pigeon, this is sometimes called, or supine pigeon. Sometimes it's called a figure four, doesn't matter, do something. If you don't like it, do nothing. You can relax the left leg a little bit. So instead of having it way up here, see what would happen if you just kind of let the left leg be heavy. Let's stay here for another breath, just opening up the hip. After your next breath, release the leg to the floor. Good. Bring both feet to the floor. Once again, take a noticing of the body and take an inhale breath and gently start to windshield wiper the legs right and left. Good. You can always bring the legs up a little higher if you want to do that. That's a little bit more core work. I'm going to bring my feet to the floor. It's a little bit more, I don't even really know what day of the week this is. Is it Tuesday? I guess it's Tuesday, but it's more of an evening practice, right? It's a little bit more restful. And then if it feels right to you, take both knees over to the left for 2 breaths into a spinal twist. If this is too much for you, you can always take that pillow, or if you have yoga blocks or something like that, you could bring those under the left leg. You could look over the left shoulder or the right shoulder and keep your gaze up. See what would happen if you just relax the chest a little bit more. So feel the opening across the chest. Feel the twisting in the waist and the release in the lower back. Stay for 1 more full breath. So an inhale breath. Bring it in. And exhale. Let go. Be here now. Come back to the center. Whenever you're ready, take an exhale breath, hug both knees in toward the chest. This is Apanasana, wind relieving pose. We're going to do this a lot to reset the spine today. Exhale breath, hug the knees in toward the chest. Inhale breath, let the legs come gently away from you. The hands are on the knees or the shins if that's available to you. You get a little stretch in the shoulders too. Do it a couple of times on your own. Just kind of feel, releasing the spine, bringing everything back into symmetry. And then whenever you're ready, we'll bring the left leg back up. If you're working with the strap, it comes back up. It's an inhale breath, lengthening the left leg. Good, very nice. Good. Feel your hamstring. On the exhale breath, hug the left knee in toward the chest. Maybe you give it a good compression there. Good. Inhale breath, lengthening the left leg. Very good. Exhale breath. Hug the left knee in toward the chest. So see if you can stay present in this. It's good for you. Good. Do it a couple more times on your own, following your own breath. So as we slow down, we're giving the message from the brain to the body that it's time to be present, that it's time to relax. Excellent. And now you're holding that leg in that straight, good, in that straight left leg. Gently drop the right hip. So the right knee can either be bent or it can be long. But let's keep both sides of the bones on the floor. So be really real in the practice. Yeah. Very nice. Take a few breaths here. Relax the left shoulder a little bit. And then take an inhale breath, open up the left leg. So open it up a little bit. Notice how that feels in the body, and then we'll move dynamically again. So exhale breath, the left knee bends up. You might want to bring it in a little bit deeper toward the left shoulder. And then inhale breath, lengthening through the left leg. Do this a few times on your own. Very good. Know that everything that I'm suggesting to you today is just a suggestion. It's just an invitation to practice, yoga posture, or practice, a dynamic movement to reset the body a little bit or to warm up the body. But ultimately, this practice is yours. So if something doesn't feel right, or if you want to do something else, or you just want to lie there and listen to the words, that's okay too. Good. And then keep the left leg open. And depending on where you are in your body, your leg might open more, it might open less. Sink both sits bones to the floor and just breathe. Good. Bring it back up to the top. Hug the knee in toward the chest. Move that knee around a little bit in circles, getting a little movement in the hip. And then lengthen it again for another hamstring stretch. So here you are again above the hips. Some of you are very flexible. You could always bring it back deeper. And then if you're using the strap, switch hands with the strap and maybe bring that leg across the body a little bit. So across the midline, sink the left hip to the floor and relax your shoulders down. Good. And depending on your flexibility, maybe bring it a little bit more over to the right. And then once again, we're going to move dynamically. So an exhale breath, you bend the knee. And then following your own inhale breath, you lengthen it. And don't worry so much about that. I cue breath cues. But if that's distracting to you, just move it how it feels right. We're just getting the body ready. Getting the body ready. One more time here, and then we'll hold it for a breath. This is a little bit of a twist preparation, getting a little bit of a stretch to the muscles that connect the hip to the knee. So there's a very tight tendon there, the IT band. And I've been doing a lot of walking, probably like some of you, and I feel that. So maybe you feel that too. And maybe you look over the left shoulder, you get a little stretch in the neck, you might feel a little twist in the waist. Just really listen to your body. And then whenever you're ready, come back to the top, let go of the strap, hug the left knee in toward the chest. If your right leg is long, bend it, and then place the right foot to the floor. Good, so the right knee is bent. Now the left ankle comes to the top of the right knee. Open up through the left knee in this figure 4 stretch and move it dynamically a few times. Good. So just kind of notice what that feels like to move in your hip. It might feel good, it might feel sensitive. If anything causes pain in the body, we're not doing it. So then you minimize it or don't do it. So just really listen to your body today. And stay here for the inhale, notice. And then on your next exhale breath, if you wish to bring up the right leg, then do it. You can hold underneath the right thigh. Just relax the right leg. So let that leg be heavy. You can open up the knee deeper if you want, or just let it be. Notice how your neck feels. Could you relax your neck a little bit more? Stay for a long breath. So take a long inhale breath. And then a longer exhale breath. Very good. Release the right foot to the floor, uncross, and once again, we're going to do those windshield wipers. Good. So in your inhale breath, the knees come to the top. The exhale breath, they go the other way. And depending on how your back feels, you can always separate your feet a little bit more. You can minimize the movement or make it deeper. And then if it feels right for you, allow both knees to come over to the right for that twist. And for those of you who come to class, with me regularly on Tuesday mornings, we do this a lot, this preparation. And we know now we're getting close to that journey of the longer hold. So see if you can savor and be present in this twist for 2 breaths. And maybe you look over the left shoulder if that feels right, or the gaze can be up or to the right. Eyes can be closed or open, doesn't really matter. But if your eyes are open, try to find a steady gaze on something that's not moving. So rather than looking all around or even looking at me, unless you need a point of reference, see if you can go within the body now. Very good. Come back up to the top, hug the knees back in toward the chest. So on an exhale breath, we'll hug the knees in toward you. Inhale breath, they come a little bit away from you. And then gently come onto one side, onto the fetal posture here. And gently cradle your head. I'm going to place a pillow, since I have all these wonderful pillows, right underneath my head. And I'm just kind of looking at my candle here as gazing point. You may even close your eyes if that feels right to you to go within. Relaxing everything from the toes to the shins, to the knees, the front and the backs of the legs and hips. Relax your back and your belly, and your chest and your shoulders, and your neck and your head. In this posture, the fetal posture, it reminds us, I'm just going to sit up for a moment, but you stay. It reminds us of rebirth. It reminds us of coming back into the breath and coming back into the practice, and sometimes coming back to ourselves. And so often in these times, and like you, I've been doing e-learning with my kids, and we've been playing every board game that we've ever owned and coming up with new games and trying to amuse ourselves. But sometimes it's just simply boring being in the spaces. And so yoga reminds us to be present. It reminds us to be okay with the right now. And this posture, the fetal posture, reminds us of rebirth, that with each day and with each breath, we have this beautiful opportunity to begin again. And so come back right now to the breath. Very good. Whenever you're ready, press into the palms and come back to your hands and your knees. Come back to your hands and knees. We'll practice one more round of cat-cow. On the inhale breath, we're going to lengthen the spine, expanding through the heart. Feel the breath. See if you can notice it now. How do you feel different after that little wake-up stretch, your warm-up stretch? Good. And then your exhale breath, you're rounding your back, drawing the tailbone down toward the knees, getting some spaciousness. On your own, do this 1 or 2 more times. Excellent. And then coming right from the hands and the knees, our first longer posture today is pigeon, or sometimes in restorative yoga, it's called sleeping swan. The easiest way to enter it really is through the hands and the knees. Draw the right knee forward inside of the hip line. I'll move my pillow here. Inside of the hip line. Come onto the palms first to start, unless you're already in that restorative posture. And draw the left hip bone down. So some of us are quite tight here. This might be a great way to kind of start is with a pillow underneath the right hip, if you need that. And then gently make your way down to the floor if that's available to you. You could either come down to blocks or to a pillow or a blanket. You could come onto the forearms. Or you could gradually bring your body all the way down to the floor to rest. And if you need to bring the floor up to you, earlier in class I showed that I had this big old cushion from a chair. You could come down onto some pillows or a cushion or anything that feels available to you. You could turn your head one way or the other and just breathe. Direct the left hip bone down if that's available. But again, just work with your body. If this is uncomfortable to you, then feel free to adjust to any comfortable position in this. So if you need to bring the floor up to you, or even come back onto your back in a figure 4 stretch, feel free. Very good. And as you rest in this posture, I'm going to do a little reading too. I've been rereading some books, which that's been one of my greatest pleasures, is sort of the excuse to just spend many hours reading while my kids are working in school. And I'd like to read to you from Jeff Brown. He's one of my favorite authors. Unity consciousness is not simply a beautiful vision of possibility. It is our best and truest hope. Until each and every one of us rises into fullness, the collective cannot actualize its wholeness. Until we all rush to the side of someone in need, we are all fractured beings. Until we all recognize that each of us is a magnificent reflection of the God Self, we are collectively blind. Until everyone has what they need to flourish, we are all birds with one wing. The collective is only as healthy as its most challenged individual. Our community is humanity. We rise or fall in unison. And so as you rest in this posture quietly, I'm going to give you a minute. See if you can notice the breath as it travels through the body. And as I shared as we began the practice, yoga is union. See if you can bring together the breath back into the body, healing, nurturing, and releasing. Stay in the posture if that's available to you for another 5 breaths. With each inhale breath, see if you could expand once again across the heart space, drawing breath between the bones of the scapular bone area, the shoulder blades, to that area, the back heart, and then down the back to the base of the spine. And then allow the belly to come in on the exhale as that breath gently lifts up and away, bringing in calm. Take 2 more slow breaths. And as you complete those breaths, know that it's okay to stay here. So if you just found your sweet spot in this posture, then stay. Otherwise, gently come out of the posture. It may feel good to come to your hands and knees and repeat around a cat-cow, or shift your hips side to side, or maybe make some hip circles, or any kind of intuitive movement. And then we're going to go right away to the left side. So take an inhale breath, lengthen, and then bring the left knee forward. The left knee is inside of the hip line. Good. You can start on the palms and first lengthen the spine. So we want to get a lot of room so we don't dump into the lower back. So it's an inhale breath to lengthen. Find the space. This is okay to stay here for a couple breaths. And then as you feel ready, you can come down to the props or to the floor. Maybe you just bring your head to rest on your palms or the pillow or whatever feels good to you. And just breathe, drawing the right hip to the floor. Often when we're in stillness and in quiet, we get distracted, right? Into that nothingness. Our mind tells us that we should be doing something. Our body tells us that we should be doing something. Sometimes our heart tells us that we should be doing something. But when we do nothing, but relax, we're nourishing, we're sending healing to the body. Even when the mind is distracted, when we tell ourselves, I am relaxing now. I am letting go now. The body begins to respond. So if your mind begins to wander as we hold this posture for about another minute, it's normal that mind wanders, or that we get that chatter in the brain that tells us we should be doing something else. Come back to the breath. You can even create a mantra where on the inhale breath, it can be as simple as I'm letting in life. And then on the exhale breath, thank you, thank you, thank you. Or create one of your own. On the inhale, breathe in well-being. On the exhale breath, let go of worry. Feel that wash away from you and travel down, releasing down the spine and away. Take 5 more breaths, 5 long inhale and exhale breaths. See if you can expand the inhale breath, imagining bringing in more light, more energy. And exhale breath, see if you can make it a little bit longer, bringing in more calm, more release, more rest. Take One more long inhale. One more long exhale breath. Very good. You can stay in this posture as long as you like. Or when you feel ready, come back out. You might come to the hands and knees and do some more rounds of cat-cow, or maybe make some leg circles with the left leg. Good. Maybe shift your hips side to side, any intuitive movement. And then we'll meet in child's pose again. So take an inhale breath first to lengthen, and then slowly come back into child's pose. Maybe you open the knees a little bit more now that the hips are a little bit more open. Maybe you close them. Maybe you rest the hands at your sides, maybe even behind you. Maybe the legs close, draping the chest over the thighs. Whatever feels good to you. If you need some support, you can always place a pillow or your prop, your blanket behind the ankles. We'll stay here for 3 breaths, just 3 breaths, resetting the body. Come back to the rest. Take one more long inhale breath and one more long exhale breath. And then as you're ready, just come onto your back. So we'll lean on the back again and we'll come into Apanasana, wind relieving pose. On an exhale breath, hug the knees in toward the chest. Good. On an inhale breath, they come away from you. You can start to bring the knees even up toward the shoulders, creating some more space between the hips and the belly if that feels good. Just kind of see where you need a little bit of movement. Good. And then hug the knees back in toward the chest. Place your feet on the floor and then extend both legs and arms and open up into star pose for a breath. Good. And see what that feels like to just kind of feel the length of the spine on the floor. The arms are relaxed. There's a slight tuck of the chin toward the chest. Come back into the noticing. Letting go of the idea that there has to be any outcome. And then whenever you're ready, bring your legs a little bit closer together. I pretty much come all the way to my couch here, so I need to move up a little. But relax the legs and make the legs long and take an inhale breath first. And then on your exhale breath, bring the right leg up toward the chest. Good. And then we're going to take a spinal twist where you bring the right leg across the body. And for those of us who are a little bit tighter in the back, I'm going to bring a couple pillows underneath my right knee. You might do the same. Otherwise, we could potentially bend the left knee if that's more comfortable. Maybe you bring the arms out into a T or goalpost arms. Maybe you look over the right shoulder. Anything is fine. And notice this twisting in the spine. Feel the ringing in the belly. And then see if you can bring some breath across the heart. So bring some breath across the chest. We're going to stay here for a full minute. See if you can allow that inhale breath to nourish you. Bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it in. And as that exhale breath travels down the body, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Take 5 more long inhale and exhale breaths. And once again, see if you can follow the breath. The mind will wander. And if the mind wanders, know it's okay if you need to adjust a pillow or a prop. But see if you can come back to the breath. Letting go of pain. Bringing in calm. And creating space for rest. Take another long inhale and another long exhale breath. Very good. And come back to the center. Hug the knees and toward the chest. This time we'll extend the legs long again. Good. Notice how that feels in the body first. And then take an inhale breath to lengthen. And on an exhale breath, hug the left knee in toward the chest. And then whenever you feel ready, bring the knee across the body. And it doesn't have to go all the way across. Again, we can modify by bending the right knee. You can bring a blanket between the thighs, or a block, or a pillow, or underneath the legs. Take any modifications that you might need here and see if you can find some stillness. So even if you need to kind of adjust a few times, there are no rules here. But part of the reason why we come into these longer holds is that it releases the deep fascia, the deep connective tissue. It's been shown that restorative yoga practices lower heart, resting heart rate. So it can be excellent for cardiovascular health. It's been shown that it can even help with diabetes. It can help with anxiety or even depression. Can help with injuries, physical injuries. We want to be very mindful as we're in these holds. So if something begins to call on you, where your lower back is speaking to you, or you feel like something's getting agitated, then we adjust. And so restorative yoga teaches us to be present in the physical body. It teaches us to calm the emotional body. And ultimately helps us to connect with our spiritual body. Take 3 more breaths. Once again, see if you can go back to that breath pattern of the inhale breath originating between the shoulder blades, traveling down the spine to the belly. Take another breath like that. And then exhale from the belly to the heart. Good. Stay there if you wish, or if you're ready, come back to the top, hug the knees in toward the chest. Maybe gently rock a little bit on the sacrum. We'll practice just one short back bend. Press your feet into the floor and bring something underneath the hips. So hopefully you brought either a blanket or a bolster or a pillow or something that you could gently bring underneath the hips. You might want to stack that up a little bit higher. You can always add more to bring a little bit more lift. Back bends or inversions can help to minimize anxiety. It also counters sitting, rounding over a phone or a computer. It brings spaciousness to the heart. I'm gently gonna just sit up. And you stay in the posture if that's comfortable for you. Notice your feet on the ground. And relax your toes and your ankles. Once again, relax your shins and your calves to your knees, and then back down the thighs. Relax your hips and your glutes. Relax your belly and your chest. Starting at the back of the body, relax from the tailbone up to the back of the heart space, the shoulder blades. And feel that breath as it enters the back of the body, down the spine, nourishing and releasing. And then draw the belly in on the exhale as you bring that breath up to the chest. Relax the chest and the shoulders and the arms to the fingers. Relax your face and your jaw. Relax the forehead and the top of the head, to the back of the head, to the neck, and all the way back down the body as you breathe. Take 3 more long breaths here. And as you breathe in, maybe you imagine bringing in light and release and vitality. On the exhale breath, let go of stress and worry and control. Another breath, long inhale breath, and long exhale breath. And then press into your feet. Take the prop out from underneath the back. Hug the knees back in toward the chest. And then plant your feet on the floor. And take an inhale breath and open up your hands. Take an inhale breath now. And exhale breath, bring both hands to your heart. So you're on your back. Place your hands on your heart. One hand is over the other. And just notice. And then take a notice if there's anything else that you need right now before Shavasana. So Shavasana is our final resting pose. And an hour sure flies. I normally teach a 75-minute class and I had all kinds of hopes of things that I would share with you today. But we're ready for Shavasana. So our final pose, you can either stay in corpse pose where you just extend your legs long. You could come to your side. You could even, if you have a wall, such as I have, you could bring your body up to the wall and place your legs up against the wall and just rest with your head on your mat, whatever would feel comfortable to you right now. So find your final resting pose. It could even be seated, but something that would be most restful for you for this final Shavasana. Wonderful thing about being in a home Shavasana is you can stay here as long as you like. I'll guide you back, but if you wish to stay in the final Shavasana, then just do. If you're ready to come back, bring some movement perhaps to the fingers and the toes, maybe open and close the palms a few times. Maybe even take your thumb and gently bring it to each of your fingers, symbolic of awakening. You stretch your arms and your legs in opposition. And then come back into the fetal posture. So remember that was on your side. So come from your back, maybe hug the knees in toward the chest, and then gently come to your side. And then we'll meet in comfortable seated posture, Sukhasana. Any comfortable seated posture is fine. So just come there when you're ready, if you're ready. And if it's comfortable for you, you can close your eyes. Otherwise, keep your eyes open, but maybe find a resting place. I'm just gently looking at the candle before me. And take a moment to savor breath again. Recognizing that we in unity are all one. Yoga, collectively one, united in tonight's practice. Open up your arms. So take a big inhale breath. Kind of like you're receiving a hug. So an inhale breath, open it up, open it up, open it up. And exhale breath. Bring one hand to the heart, maybe the left hand. Bring the right hand over it. Savor that warmth. For those of us, including myself, who are extroverts who love hugs, we should probably do that one more time. Let's do it again together. It's an inhale breath, open up. Bring it in, and then exhale breath, receive it. Bring it in. The love, the light, the vitality. Bring it to your heart, and then bring your hands back to Anjali Mudra prayer. Back to the heart. I like to close the practice with a vibration or chant. I'm alone, actually, in my house right now. My children are staying with their dad tonight, so my house is pretty quiet. And I'm going to just celebrate the breath, and if you feel like sharing that with me, you can join me. Otherwise, maybe you do it in your head, but we're going to Om together if you wish. We'll inhale and exhale breath to receive the breath, to close the practice with the vibration of Om. And exhale breath. Receive. Bring your thumb knuckles to your third eye, the space between the eyebrows and the forehead, and we gently bow forward to each other into our practice. My light and my love, deeply, very humbly and gratefully bow to your light and your love. Namaste. Thank you so much, dear yogis, for being present. I really enjoyed that practice. The time went very quickly. I had about maybe 12 other postures I wanted to add to tonight's practice. So thank you for being here, being present. Namaste.